Republican Lee Zeldin serves on the Foreign Affairs Committee. Sir, how are you? And good morning. What came of 9 hours with Fiona Hill, sir?
Cherry-picked leaks, withholding key facts, and outright lying. That's been the formula for Adam Schiff and his team this entire time, and we're seeing it overnight once again.
Okay.
The entire story is not coming out.
Did John Bolton tell her to report to a lawyer back in early July?
I am not able to get into the substance of what was discussed, but it's not because I don't want the information to be out there. I actually want the entire transcript to be out there right now this morning. You and I should be able to have a conversation where right in front of you is the transcript of every single question that was asked yesterday, every single answer that was given. But instead, this strategy of cherry picking out leaks is not giving you by a long shot the full story of what happened yesterday. I am not allowed to talk about anything that happened, and that's why I'm calling for full transparency so that you and I can have a conversation, and so that the American public knows everything that's going on, as opposed to being in the dark.
As this proceeds, help me with something here. For those who are giving interviews behind closed doors, at some point, will they have to submit to a public hearing?
There's no answers with regards to any of this. As far as whether or not there's going to be a vote to launch an impeachment inquiry, it's not known. Will the minority party be allowed to call witnesses? Because if Adam Schiff isn't going to call the whistleblower, you sure as heck can bet that the Republicans will want to call the whistleblower, as well as a bunch of anonymous sources inside the whistleblower complaint. We would like to have Ambassador Pyatt come testify, so that list goes on. The president cannot have counsel present. He can't cross-examine witnesses. He's not allowed to present evidence and assert executive privilege when appropriate. So as far as what's next in the process, Adam Schiff is making it up every single morning as he goes along, and I'm still waiting for an answer on a key question. At the end of last week, I asked Adam Schiff, before the start of the deposition, what House rule is governing any of this? He refused to answer. Yesterday morning, we had a phone call with the House parliamentarian. I asked the same exact question. I'm asking for an answer. So there are no rules. The only rules that are out there, the other side will call best practices when they cherry-pick leaks, when they withhold key information and outright lie. But the rules are that we can't be providing on our side.
What they're saying, they're describing these as depositions. I guess you can make an argument that that's the case. Here's what I'm trying to get at, though. I know the case you're making publicly, that you want the American people and others within your own party to hear what's being questioned and answered behind closed doors. My issue is whether or not, ultimately, through this process, we will actually hear them under oath in a public hearing, in a public setting, to talk about what complaints you have from these private hearings.
Yeah,
yes or no?
1,000% that absolutely should happen. It should be happening right now. But if they're not going to have these depositions in public for the entire country to watch in real time, then at least release the transcripts. And if they're not going to do that, to your question, absolutely. Let's have this testimony out in front of the American public. Can you imagine this? There's 435 members of the House of Representatives. There's only been about a dozen or so members who have been in those rooms for at least part of the time over the 3 depositions that have taken place. 750,000 people on average live in these congressional districts. They go to their congressman, they say, I don't know what's going on, help me make sense of it, I have some questions. Almost every single member of the House of Representatives is completely in the dark, let alone the media and the American public.
Lee Zeldin, thank you for coming back here. We've spoken a lot lately. We'll speak again very soon, the Republican from New York there, as we get ready for another day on the Hill. Thank you, sir. 9 hours, a lot of time to cover a lot of territory. You wonder ultimately how much got
You remember from yesterday, Matt Gaetz trying to enter the room as a Republican on the Judiciary Committee was asked to leave. So we'll see where things go today, but hours more of question and answer.
Coming up.